Nathan's combat class with Jason had turned dangerous. Nathan never backed out of a fight, but today was personal.
One day, I'll make your father my slave and piss on him.
And that was when Nathan lost his cool. Little did Nathan know, it was a fatal mistake.
Headmaster, stop the duel! Nathan, yield, please! I yield.
Not enough for me.
Further down the hall, Lord Byram sighed with relief as he found one of his nephew's names on the list under the 6th rank. He knew that any member of House Clay who succeeded would bring honor to them all. As House Raven swiftly left the hall, Lord Byron frowned. Something had clearly bothered the High Lord Raven, and as Lord Clay went to investigate, he found what had disturbed his master. Lord Clay's fingers clenched into a fist as he gritted his teeth. His stomach went sour as he retreated from the results board. How dare they award the Hayfield boy an examination rank 8? My own men told me that he left the training grounds early. He must have cheated in some way. That murderer ought to be 6 feet underground, not paraded around the city like a hero. If I could tear his name from the roster right now without repercussions, I would. This madness has got to stop at once. Suddenly, the sounds of horse hooves echoed through the cobblestone streets near the hall. Members of the crowd turned and knelt respectfully. It was well known throughout the kingdom of Calandria that riding a horse through a city was rarely allowed. Only a privileged few had the authority to do so. Even most nobles were forced to walk or ride in a mule-drawn carriage. Someone openly riding a horse meant only one thing. A messenger from the Doom faction was on the way to address the crowd. Doom faction members were not bound by the laws of the kingdom of Calandria, after all, considering they ruled over many different kingdoms across the known world. The Doom faction messenger approached the hall, and the crowd parted to create a path for him. The middle-aged messenger wore an official-looking brooch on his tunic that identified him as a Doom faction envoy. After riding into the center of the crowd, the messenger dismounted and faced the crowd. His voice was both polite and loud as it addressed the city center. Good citizens of Godric's Land, I am here for the one who is known as Nathan Hayfield. At this moment, the High Lord Raven, who was just about to leave the premises, instead turned and made his way over to the messenger. Lord Raven was the highest-ranking member of the crowd, after all. He smiled at the man and dialed up the charm. Greetings, noble messenger. Excuse my intrusion, but what is the meaning of this announcement? Why do you wish to see the Hayfield boy? The messenger didn't even bother looking at the High Lord Raven. After all, Lord Raven was only a noble, and the Doom faction had little concern for the nobles. Instead, the messenger continued to address the crowd. Nathan Hayfield, are you out there amongst the crowd? The Doom faction demands you make yourself known. Remus Raven stewed, embarrassed by the way the messenger had so casually dismissed him. He would have loved to have had the man's head cut off, but he knew such rash action would lead only to his own downfall. Remus was about to speak again when Nathan leaped past him and smiled at the envoy. I am Nathan Hayfield. What business do you have with me? You are Nathan Hayfield? Yes, sir. Immediately, the messenger handed Nathan a letter with both hands and spoke to him solemnly. Doom Faction Deputy Officer Kane requests your presence. He wishes to invite you to lunch with him this afternoon. Nathan smiled at the Doom Faction messenger as Ulrich and Amelia approached the scene. Nathan motioned toward them. My father and sister, may they come as well? The messenger nodded. Of course, sir. As you please. Nathan quickly raced over to his family in the crowd. Father, Sister, someone important wants to treat us to lunch. Shall we go? Ulrich's eyes grew wide. As soon as the messenger had arrived and called out his son's name, he was starstruck. How surreal is this? The Doom faction deputy wants to meet my son. No other noble family has ever even seen him before. Why, even Duke Godrickson himself has to request an audience with Officer Kane just to be able to speak with him. This is crazy. Ulrich beamed at his son. Nathan quirked an eyebrow. Okay, is that a yes? Finally, Ulrich snapped out of it. Yes, of course. We must go at once. Nathan raced back to the waiting envoy. Apologies for the delay. Thank Deputy Officer Kane for his kind invitation and tell him we will meet him at the Dark Tower shortly. Very well, then. I shall take my leave. With that, the messenger mounted his horse, turned around, and galloped off without another glance at the crowd or the High Lord Raven. The horse's hooves on the cobblestones echoed, growing fainter over time until they disappeared entirely. Nathan, Amelia, and Ulrich left the city center soon after, ignoring the many jealous eyes around them. No sooner had they departed than the hall buzzed with whispers. Hey, did you see that? What did he say to them? The deputy officer of the Doom faction just invited the Hayfield family to lunch with him. No way! If only that were me instead. Imagine how grand that must be. House Hayfield must really be on the rise now. An 8th rank result will do it. Still, it's incredible how quickly they were summoned to him. Nathan Hayfield must be really special indeed. I don't buy it. Something fishy must be going on. Oh, please. You're just jealous like the rest of us. Can't you see that Nathan Hayfield must be brimming with talent? Why else would a deputy officer invite him over? That Hayfield boy sure has brought a lot of honor to us warriors from Dunshire. Despite all of the speculations tossed around, it was clear that everyone knew that Nathan was to credit for his family's rise in status. The gossips knew that when it came to House Hayfield, it was Nathan, not his father, who shined brightest. Many others wondered aloud why Nathan had been chosen to dine with the Doom faction and not Stuart Lightstone, who had placed first among all the students. This fact further inflamed the debate, and many wild theories were floated and discussed. Meanwhile, Cedric and the High Lord Raven's faces reflected utter disgust. Remus spit as if the Hayfield's very name had brought bile to his mouth. His hatred for House Hayfield grew only stronger. He stroked his beard as he coldly pondered this turn of events. How could the Doom faction invite that family of all noble houses? What could they possibly wish to discuss with that Hayfield brat? I must do everything I can to learn what's behind all this. There's no way Nathan could have performed so well without cheating. Suddenly, Lord Byram Clay appeared beside his patron and broke the High Lord Raven's concentration. High Lord Raven, can it truly be that the messenger just now was from the Doom faction? Did I hear all that correctly? There must be some mistake, right, my lord? I mean, that boy's a murderer, for crying out loud. Remus turned to Lord Byram. He put a comforting hand on his distraught vassal's shoulder. Lord Clay, I think it's time for you and me to discuss the end of House Hayfield once and for all. Come to my family's compound with haste. Lord Byram smiled sinisterly and nodded his head. At once, my lord. I'll gather the men of my house and meet you there shortly. Finally, we shall see justice done. Lord Byram cackled as he swiftly left the crowd. Lord Crow turned to his son Cedric. Cedric, my boy, make sure your swords are sharpened. In the coming days, you shall need them. Yes, father, with pleasure. Ah, Lord Hayfield. Finally, you've all made it. Thank you, sire. It's a great honor to meet you. Thank you for inviting my son to lunch. Deputy Officer Kane stood and shook Ulrich's hand as the Hayfields entered the Dark Tower's private dining suite. Even though Ulrich was many years older, he knelt before Officer Kane until he was encouraged to stand up and take a seat. They all sat on a terrace overlooking the city, and the view itself was something to behold. Kane smiled at Nathan as the boy saluted him. "Deputy Officer Kane, sir, I thank you for your hospitality." Amelia also nodded her head. "Yes, thank you very much." "Don't bother kneeling, you two. The polite formalities are nice and all, but that's not why you're here. Please, just sit and drink with me as my men prepare the meal." Ulrich laughed sheepishly. Despite Kane's casual nature, he knew the man in front of them had the skill necessary to wipe them out at a moment's notice if he wanted to. "Relax. Seriously, I promise I won't bite. Have some of this ale." Nathan, meanwhile, sat calmly across from the powerful officer. "So, why am I here exactly, sir?" Kane motioned toward the mugs of ale, and after Nathan took a sip, Kane smiled. "I think you know, but first, cheers to an exciting future for a powerful young man."
Please subscribe to the Pocket FM YouTube channel and press the bell icon for instant notification. Check out our channel for more such exciting shows.